Good afternoon and welcome to day 7 and our final day of our wilderness-inspired yoga. Now today I thought we would focus on our feathered friends. After all, you have been hearing the birds go crazy in my garden all week. Now if you've ever been on safari or you've ever been to Africa, you will know the importance of watching and listening to birds. Not only do we have hundreds of beautiful birds to watch, but birds often will lead you to the big game that we all aspire to see. And what's so wonderful about birds is that they're everywhere on the planet. And so you have a mini safari in your backyard. All you need to do is to step outside and just spend some time mindfully watching the birds. And even the colorless ones are fascinating to watch, like the pigeons, which leads me to the pose we're going to be doing today. It's Pigeon Pose, what we've called it African green pigeon. In the Sanskrit, it's Kapotanasana, or in the long Sanskrit turn and the correct Sanskrit turn, it is Ekapada Raja Kapotanasana. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off as we have been doing pretty much all week. We're going to start off in Earth Child, knees touching, toes touching, just sitting on our heels for a moment. Slide our hands all the way forward. Come to find the mat with your forehead for a second. Take a deep inhale, and on an exhale, untuck your toes and lift up into your downward facing dog. Now just find your alignment in the downward facing dog, making sure your hands are slightly wider than your shoulders, your feet are hip width apart, and you're drawing your sacrum towards the sky. Just bring your awareness to your spine. Just make sure it's long and straight, and just broaden through the back. And then, keeping the integrity of this pose, I want you to just lift up through that right heel. Bring your right leg all the way to the sky, trying to keep your hips closed. Feel that heel drawing a little bit further if you can. Toes are pointing downwards. And then I want you to slowly roll over your shoulders into a plank, and as you do so, bring your right knee into your chest. Really lift up that right knee. See if you can bring a little bit closer. Push out of your shoulders, and then I want you to slowly land your right knee down just behind your right wrist. And now as you land your foot, I want you to slide that back left foot all the way backwards. So it should be in direct line to your hip. And then I want you to slowly walk that right foot slightly closer towards your left wrist. Now the more advanced you are, the more parallel you can be with the front of your mat. And if you want, you can even leave your foot a little bit closer towards your hip, whatever you find most comfortable. Now in this pose, we want to try and keep our hips aligned. So we want to draw that left hip forward, the right hip backwards. We want to press that back left foot into the mat. Now if you need, you may want to use a prop under your right hip. So you can use a blanket or a towel, you can use a block or a book. You can have it as high as you can, as long as you're keeping your hips slightly square towards the front of the mat. Now see what you find comfortable, and then draw the crown of the head towards the ceiling. You're in a bit of a back bend here. Your lumbar spine should have a beautiful arch in it. So reach the crown of the head up, relax the shoulders down, and then you can walk your hands all the way down. Now you can either bring your forehead to the mat, or if that's impossible, again, use a prop, use a book, bring your forehead to wherever you can. And I want you to just try and soften into this pose. Use your exhale. So really find your breath here. And just use your exhale to just soften a little bit further down. And just keep drawing that right hip back, the left hip forward. Press the back foot into the mat. Take one more deep inhale here. And then on an exhale, you can walk your hands all the way back. Move any props to the side. Plant your hands onto the mat and tuck that left foot. Come back into your downward facing dog. Find your alignment here again. Really press your fingers into the mat, and then slowly reach that left leg all the way up. Heel draws towards the sky. Keep your hips square. Toes are pointing downwards. And then roll over your shoulders. Bring that knee into the chest. Draw it into the chest. Push out of your hands. Push out of your shoulders. And then slowly bring that left knee down to just behind the left wrist. Slide that back foot all the way back. And then if you can, start walking your left foot towards your right wrist. Again, come onto your tippy fingers. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Feel that back bend. And then slowly walk your hands all the way down. Again, if you need a prop, you can either use that prop under the left hip, or you can bring a prop to in front of you for your forehead. And just take a moment in this pose to just find your breath. Keep drawing that left hip back, the right hip forward. Take one more deep inhale here. And on an exhale, walk your hands all the way back up. Press your hands into the mat, untuck that back foot, and come back into your downward facing dog. Just for a moment, find that downward facing dog, reach the sacrum high, engage the arms, engage the legs. Draw your belly towards your spine, lengthen through the spine. And then slowly roll forward into plank. And then I want you to come down in chaturanga in one long straight line, making sure that your hips aren't dropping first. And then when you get there, I just want you to slowly roll onto your back. Now, if you're a practiced yogi, you will know that we always end our classes in Shavasana. So I thought we'd end our week in Shavasana. So I want you to bring your feet as wide as the mat and let your feet just fall open. Bring your hands wider than the mat and let your palms fall open to the sky. And just gently come to close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale and just sigh it out. And just slowly bring your awareness to your feet and allow your feet to relax. Relax your thighs, your knees, your shins. Relax your hips, and your belly and your chest. Relax your shoulders, and your arms and your hands. Relax your fingers. Relax your throat, your jaw, your tongue, your eyes and your forehead. Just allow your body to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system. Allow your body to restore and to rest. You may choose to come to your breath at this point. You may choose to just listen to the sounds around you, like these beautiful birds chirping. You may choose to completely zone out. What's important is you just let everything go. And then I want you to just slowly begin to come back to your breath if you weren't with it. You feel cool air drawing in through the nose, your chest rising, and a warm air pushing out of your mouth. And then I want you to just begin to move your fingers and your toes, just gently. And then slowly begin to bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug here. And then gently roll onto your right hand side, bringing your arm down. Bring your head to relax on your bicep. Take a moment here. And then gently push your way up into a comfortable seated position. And bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me this week. It's been so wonderful to bring my videos to you. We really do look forward to having you back with us in the wilderness and on safari with us and in Africa. But for now, stay healthy, stay safe. Namaste.